Hello, I'm John Moeller, former White House chef, the Three First Families, and author of Dining at the White House. Today we're here at RLPS Architects here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we're going to show you how to make a lobster base. I have a whole lobster with both claws on it. There's a lobster is referred to as a caul lobster. That's when a claw might be missing through whatever means. They are usually a little bit less expensive. Since you're going to be cooking this lobster for at least an hour or two, and the meat, you're not going to be able to eat it. It's all for getting the flavor for the sauce. It's better to use less expensive lobster. But for today, we have this here, and you can't really use a dead lobster. It's preferable to use a live one. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our ingredients of carrot, celery, and onions. That is our mirepoix. Equal amounts of carrot, celery, and onions. We have fresh thyme. We have some bay leaf. We have salt and pepper, tomato paste, and olive oil. Then we have some water that we're going to pour over top of it when we go to cook the stock itself. So to begin with, we're going to take the lobster and we're going to cut off both sides of the claws. It's good to use a little bit heavier knife. It depends what time of the year here. These shells are a little bit tough, a little bit hard. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to cut him in pieces right between the joints there. Okay, head. I'm going to split that in half. It does get a little messy. There's a lot of moisture in lobster. Okay. All right, now we've taken the shell and we're breaking it down in small pieces. Just snap through. I have a stock pot. It's a medium-large stock pot. I'm going to have it on a medium-high heat. We have our olive oil. We're going to add this here. Decent amount. It's just about up to a smoking point. You take this. All that juice is important to get that in there. All that natural liquor coming off the lobster, it's going to add flavor. Going to add a little bit more oil. All right, now we can start adding our mirepoix and fresh thyme. A couple of bay leaves. We're going to keep stirring this for a minute or two. Okay, we're going to let all those ingredients saute for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add tomato paste. Take a little bit of fresh pepper, and for right now, we're just going to put a little pinch of sea salt. Always season it a little bit more later on. Let's stir that tomato paste into it. You have all those pieces. They're all about the same size. Now we're going to add the water to this cold tap water, just to cover and maybe just a little bit over. That looks good right there. I probably added about 3 pints of water so far, which is about 1.5 quarts. All right. So now we're going to bring it up to a boil, take it back to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for about at least 1.5 hours. Once it all adds together, they make a very nice sauce. It's a good base to make either a bisque or a sauce. This is a lobster base, which could be used for either one. You can make up a little bit more than you actually need, put it in small containers, and put it in the freezer and hold on to it. It's been simmering for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. The smell that's coming off this is incredible. You have a nice little colorization that was helped by putting the tomato paste in there. That adds flavor and color both. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ladle some of the juices through here, and we're going to separate the liquids from the solids. So I have a fairly fine mesh strainer here. It's going to take your ladle and just keep squeezing on the bottom of it. And it's real important to try and squeeze all the juices out of this the lobster body. After we squeeze everything through nicely, then we're going to check it for seasoning. And it's the liquid. This is the base. Give it a little tasting. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to it. One thing you could do too is add maybe a little bit of cayenne if you want to spice it up. A lot of times lobster stock and base is nice when it has just a little bit of a kick to it. We probably have about 1.5 pints of lobster base out of that 3 quarts, I believe we started with liquid. Try it again here. That tastes good. All right, now I can cool this down. I can cut it into portions, put it in the freezer, and take it out as I need it. I'm John Moeller. former White House chef, the three first families, and that was how to make a lobster base. Always remember, cook well and eat well.